Welcome to Asstown on Tour. We're here in the tent, in the studio tent. It's me, Steenton, and I'm joined today by the Mayor of Asstown himself, David Thayer, shrink wrapped.
Hello.
Oh yeah, sorry. We do this thing every week. I this up, and every week I've sworn. I've already sworn. It's 2 seconds in. This is going disastrously. And we're here with our special guest today, Mina. Hello, Mina.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. I'm happy to be here on the island. Very unhappy that I've brought, our kind of legitimate, nice broadcast into question with my foul mouth. But that's all part. It's very exciting to be here on the island, and sometimes I get a little bit boisterous.
It's important to get it out of your system right now.
I should have done it before the stream started.
Before everyone comes in. So only the most dedicated listeners will have heard that blue language.
Yeah, but now I've got to put a beep on it before we put it on YouTube. Oh, terrible. But yeah, no, Mina is kindly going to take us around her island tonight on an island tour. But before we get into that, we're going to go through the news topics of the week as people pour into the chat. We've got lots of people in the chat already. I want to say a thank you to everybody that's been subscribing to the channel. I see My Pet Roxy is in the chat, and who's one of our founding subscribers. Looks like Screeching Weasel has subscribed to us too. This is amazing. We're so close to getting those official Twitch hats. If I would only learn to stop swearing. So obviously we're very professional here tonight, and we're going to go into the news. So it's a big topic, everybody. You know what I'm going to talk about? I'm going to talk about Red.
Yes.
Red, obviously, we first started seeing him pop up last week, and all throughout the High Score Club archipelago, it seems like Red is running rampant. Have you two had a lot of experience so far?
I have, yeah. I've only actually seen him twice so far, so not a lot of contact. But yeah, he tried his ways with me. But I actually really enjoyed looking through all the different pieces and trying to find what was wrong with them. So that's been a lot of fun, actually. I have been enjoying it.
How many fakes have you got?
None yet.
What?
And are you an experienced Animal Crossing player? Have you played Animal Crossing? Is this your first Animal Crossing game?
It's actually my second. So my first one was with the DS, and it's funny because I got it when I broke my ankle and I had to be at home for 6 months. I couldn't go anywhere, so Animal Crossing was there for me. And similarly now, where I have to stay home, Animal Crossing is here to bless me. So
you knew what the deal was going to be with Red before he arrived. How were you identifying his fakes in the last game you played?
I think they were more obvious, weren't they? Did they not have like a little band or something where they're really easy to spot?
No, I found it the opposite. I found that because they're so small, and I was so unfamiliar with all the artworks that it was almost just a gamble whether I'd get a real or a fake.
Oh yeah, like the Mona Lisa. The difference on the Mona Lisa, I remember from at least the 3DS version, is just the amount of fingers that she's holding up, right?
It's something like that. I ended up using guides and I never even finished my whole art collection because it was so hard. Whereas I love the way this time that you can really zoom in on the detail, and I feel like with just some skill and careful observation, I should be able to figure out which items are fake or not. Without needing to resort to looking them up, thanks to being able to see them in such detail now.
Well, I love getting the fakes, personally.
Yeah,
to me, they're even more precious, and I really hope that we get the ability to have. I think we mentioned this last time. Really hope I get the ability to. We get the ability to do custom exhibitions at the museum again, because I'd love to.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, Red, he's an artist. The fact that he can even get Michelangelo's David looking 95% accurate, that's something to be proud of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could open a franchise maybe and teach other people how to
he's
art well.
he's a true artisan. Like, but I have to say, I got very lucky. My very first purchase, the Rosetta Stone, which has got a hilarious name in the game, which is something like Informative Stone or something like that. Informative Stone, very informative. They found it. I got lucky first time, and it was a real one. So Blathers gladly took it. And I didn't realize that the museum was going to get a visual upgrade too. How are you finding those red banners?
It's amazing. How nice is that? And I've always wondered where those stairs were going to, because it didn't make a lot of sense, did it? Just going up, but nowhere to go. So it's nice to see all nice and shiny. There's a lot of gold everywhere as well. So yeah, really loving it.
I was assuming that the staircase was just so Blathers could make a grand appearance, like a debutante, walking down the staircase in a sequin gown cut up to his hip. But I guess not.
I've got to wonder what else is going to be up those stairs.
Oh well, well, exactly. What I mean, speaking of things that we don't know. Obviously, we got a surprise when the update dropped, and we learned about Mayday. And I think that all three of us have completed the Mayday challenge. So if anybody hasn't, please feel free to look away for the next 2 or 3 minutes while we chat about Mayday. If you haven't yet used your free ticket from Tom Nook. Shrinks, did you use your ticket?
I did, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's not a very extensive tour. If you're thinking about jumping off on a plane, you're not going to spend hours doing that tour, I wouldn't have thought. But it was a fun twist, something that I didn't really expect from Animal Crossing, to be honest. It felt very video gamey. And as with a few things in New Horizons, it's reminded me of the... has anyone played the Welcome Amiibo update that included a mini game where you're starting out on an island? Or if you played Amiibo Festival, one of the games in that is the same thing, where you're the best thing on that game, to be honest, where you're exploring an island for the first time, and you need to craft and use tools to make progress. Similarities.
So for those on the stream that haven't played that was a Wii U release that was kind of like an Animal Crossing board game that I think launched alongside a lot of the Amiibo range, definitely alongside Isabelle and Digby, because I think they were the box characters. Yeah, it's interesting to see the way that like the Animal Crossing development team kind of make these spin-off games and absorb the elements of them into new games. Like obviously with the, like you mentioned, the Welcome Amiibo update to New Leaf that basically added the Happy Home Designer functionality from Happy Home Designer into New Leaf, which was a godsend, and obviously that carries through into this game. And to talk to kind of like the video gamey feel of it, I kind of feel like I was doing an assault course that the weeks and weeks of village management had prepared me for. Like just get the axe, make the axe, find the thing to make the to make the shovel, jump over the hole, lift this tree up. It was I liked it, but I have to tell you both that I knew I was making an error. Once I realised I had too much fruit, I thought to myself, God, I can do this without this much fruit, but I'm so desperate to see Rover that I kind of took a shortcut eating the fruit and then couldn't get the extra. I don't know if we all got the same islands, but me eating too much fruit.
Sure. Yeah, same. You were saying that it was pretty easy and straightforward. It took me nearly 45 minutes. So for some of us.
Were you trying to get those extra bell tickets though?
I was trying so hard and going back and forward. I was like, no, this is not the way. I need to do that again. So I was there for a good 45 minutes, maybe.
I also messed up, and I realised that I couldn't get all of the tickets, and so I, for the first time ever in New Horizons, I called the rescue service.
Do you really?
I haven't done it yet.
And I spent only cost 100 Nook miles. And it resets the island, and then you can have another go.
Oh, I should have done that.
And it lets you keep the prize that you get at the end.
I wish I'd known that.
Yeah. Is
pro
it
tip
too
for
late
anyone
now?
listening on the stream. I don't know. I don't know.
The real prize, of course, though, was seeing Rover.
Yay!
I have to, like, Shrinky told me before we started that Rover was known. Rover was shown in the marketing about the update, which I missed, and so for me it was like an absolute surprise to see him sitting there, and I got so excited because I remember on the first week of the game. So for people that don't always watch this stream, Shrinky and I are kind of actively try and avoid kind of spoilers, I guess, at least knowing things that other players would only know through time traveling or data exploits and stuff. So unfortunately, in the first week, I did see that post that was going around of the people that scanned every amiibo card to find which character models were in the game, and I did accidentally find out that week that Rover's model was not in the game, and so it was like extra surprising to kind of see Rover, and like I felt a bit of kind of gooey, sappy joy because like I associate Rover so much with playing Animal Crossing for the first time because Rover's the guy that chats to you on the train bus in the GameCube game. Oh, dreamy.
That's right.
Do you try to invite him?
I
don't think you can. Can you?
You can't. No, I tried. Didn't work.
He does seem to love knowing about your island though. He knows all about your island.
I mean, it's developed so rapidly; it's hard not to know about it. You know, if you're in this world, pretty exciting stuff.
Exactly. Well, I'm kind of really excited because it's kind of adds to like Rover's mystique as a rover, and you know, I'm just kind of looking forward to kind of seeing him again. I already miss him.
Well, I'm curious because he's hinting quite heavily that we might see him again, and I'd be surprised if we don't ever see him again. And I'd be quite excited to see more one-off islands like that.
Absolutely. It also reminds me of the kind of island multiplayer games that were in New Leaf. You know, where the everybody gets on islands and then you have a kind of competition. I know it's different in its execution, but it just kind of reminded me of that process of going to another island and having like a little mini game to do. And I really hope that at some point those kind of things return.
I feel like they must do.
Speaking of returns, we've got to bring up, of course, that Hedges have returned to the game over the course of... I think Hedges had already started appearing during last week's episode, but you know, obviously now everybody's got a chance to have met Leaf and brought Hedges back to their villages. Have you planted a whole bunch of hedges? Is that what's awaiting us?
You will see. You will see briefly, but I have. I got so excited when I saw all of the different ones, and obviously they don't all bloom at the same time. Found, so that's something to look forward to, I guess. So yeah, really, really exciting. It opens up a lot of possibilities in terms of how you can divide the space and how you can design all these different little plots of land. So yeah, really, really exciting. Can't wait to see more. I can't imagine these are the only ones that we get, right?
I mean, it just feels like it's going to kind of be like Splatoon, and we're going to get lots of little updates, giving us more stuff so frequently. I'm super excited. I haven't planted many hedges yet because I was already in a kind of remodeling program, and it's kind of set my thinking back a lot already. Like I just feel a lot of kind of like choice anxiety now about how to lay out things. How are you getting on with the hedges, Shrinky? Have you got green fingers?
Well, I've been doing being as green as I need to in order to earn the special. Is it Earth? What's it called? The
Earth Day, is it?
Limited time Nature Day activity points.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I think because there's shrubs, which is what Leaf gives you, but then the hedges.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
You have to get by, as far as I can tell, by participating in the limited time Nature Day activities, which I was glad I was doing because it didn't seem to be. They didn't explicitly make that clear. That's what would happen. You'd get something for it. And as soon as I got hedges, I got overexcited, and I'd already just put up a new, very, very high security wall around my house because I don't want anyone getting in that shouldn't do. And then I remembered that sometimes it looks nice to put a hedge next to a wall, so I then put hedges all the way around the inside. And now I haven't got enough room to get to my back garden. But I decided, as an aesthetic choice, I was going to stick with it. Also, it took me ages, so I'm not going to move all my plants around again.
I feel bad now about confusing hedges and shrubs. I'd like to apologise to the chat. The chat,
Alan
however,
Titchmarsh is furious in the chat. He's lost it.
There is a lot of passionate debate in the chat. It seems like Mayor Ed has dropped the hot take that Leaf is the best NPC, and that's causing a bit of consternation. Rossetti cited by her as being possibly better. Celeste, Digby. I mean, how Kicks? There's a lot of shouts in the chat. Like,
that wasn't a positive shout out for Kicks.
Oh yeah. Oh no, My Pet Roxy is loving Kicks because it brings her all the sweet backpacks and shoes. In fact, I'm wearing a backpack right now from my boy Kicks.
He's got the best accessories, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure. Some of the worst though. If you want to look like an esports boy, he's got all the shoes and neon bags that you could ever need. Well, just out of curiosity, who are you two picking for the best non-player character?
Well, I love Rossetti, and I'm sad I haven't seen him yet in this game. So I think I've got to go for Rossetti.
When you phoned the helpline, did Rossetti answer, or was it unclear?
Somebody else answered, and the only real connection I got was the music was reminiscent of a friendlier version of the Rossetti song.
Maybe it's Don. Maybe it's a third Rossetti brother.
I think they've got a receptionist or like a switchboard.
In the chat, this is the only statement you need. It says Lloyd is God. Lloyd is God. I miss him. I really get him.
Lloyd is
I have
around
a
though.
theory
Oh
that,
yeah, hit us with a theory.
Yeah, this is my theory, and it links to what you were just saying. So, okay, so the only way to send post right now is just go to the airport, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be nice to have a post office?
Definitely agree.
God, I miss them.
And with that, yeah, all the post office characters, that'd be so exciting. It'd be so good.
What other kind of functionality do you think the post office might bring?
So extend what you can do, because right now you can only send postcards and then attach something. So maybe if you could send different things, maybe you could set something up to be sent not immediately, but maybe in a couple of days when it's someone's birthday, or when someone will need it, or just extend what the post office can do. I think that could be quite nice.
What you're saying is bring the post office into the 21st century.
Yes.
We need to modernize Pete and Pelly and Phyllis. It's a lot of the people these days say you don't need a post office, with all of the Nook phones that are about in the market. But I think I'd like my island to have a little hideaway. I miss Pete. Coming to me and always telling me that Judith's mailbox was full. Personally, as if if Animal Crossing can't make her clear her mailbox, I certainly can't.
And I miss going to the post office and being met with just really surly customer service.
Oh, Phyllis, Queen, am I right? Can
Yes.
chat, let us know. And speaking of visitors and favourite characters, I know that there's been a few comings and goings on your island, Mina. Before we started, you let us know that there's kind of been a lot of activity, and actually I did see in the High School Club Discord earlier in the week that you were trying to woo Lucha to your island. Lucha, who gets mentioned almost on every stream now. How did that go down?
I tried. I did my best. I went to Ed and Mary's Island, which is absolutely amazing. It's so cool. It's Jurassic Park, so it's really, really nice. We recommend to visit. Ooh. And so I went, all my charm on. I did try to poach him, but he wouldn't have it. He said it was not good enough. So he didn't come. I was so heartbroken. So sad.
What a heartless guy. He's so nice on my island. I have him. Sorry, I should say. I do have Lucha on the island that we're currently on. So if he ever wants to leave, I'll give you a shout.
Please, yes, I'm reading with him.
As we all know, I have a "if you love them, let them go" mentality. Do have a wrestling themed island, so that will be a tough loss. But I'll just have to make sure I remember his birthday and send him things in the post until then. You also had comings and goings, right? I think you had somebody leave and you had somebody join.
Oh yeah, so really exciting. Flora's coming, so that's really really exciting. And sadly, maybe not so sadly, Claudia had to leave, so she left yesterday, and it was good. I had time to explore the world outside of my island for sure.
I need to. I love Flora. Flora was I met Flora on a Nook Island tour, and she was one of the villagers that I had to develop furniture for. And she's definitely I love her. She's peppy. She reminds me a lot of Timothy, who we had on the stream last week. I often feel like I'm talking to him when I'm talking to her. Hopefully he sees that as a compliment. Let us know in the chat if that's true, Timothy. But yeah, Mina, it sounds like you're stacked for good villagers.
It is, yeah. I've got a plan of where I want to come in the future, but it's not always up to you, is it? Things kind of happen. Maybe if you've got an empty plot and then someone just happens to come in and then they stay. So we'll see what happens. I think it's nice. I think it's one of the good things about the game that villagers come and go. You never know who's going to come next.
No,
Yeah,
I've got to a point now where I like all my villagers and I don't want any of them to leave.
Well, I mean, I don't know if everybody knows the theme of Shrinky's Island. Have we discussed this on stream before, Shrinks?
I don't know if we have.
I mean, Shrinky, are you allowed to even let your visitors go?
Well, to be clear, so my island is called Palcatraz, and it is a former prison that has been turned into a holiday resort. And so anyone can choose to come and go as they please, as long as they can get past the barbed wire. That's up to them.
Aye. Speaking of prisons, it's time for some white collar crime chat, I'm afraid to say. Or sorry, I shouldn't cast a negative light on it. It's time for the turnip update, everybody. Obviously, High School Club, every single week we have a lot of people very, very, very interested in maximizing their turnip, their turnip game, basically. And as always, our Discord of rampant turnip addicts has been working very hard, sharing their prices with each other, and also shout out to the general High School Club Animal Crossing group who also, get involved in the turnip situation. It's been, as always, a big week. Profits all around. As you can see this week, the average price across the High School Club archipelago, a little bit higher than usual, actually. We're having pretty much a great week. And as you can see, I wish I had a laser pointer. One day we'll develop a laser pointer for this. We've had pretty consistently above 100 prices. Unfortunately, we've had the big dip at the end of the week has taken us down to an average turnip value of 96. But it's been pretty wild. Obviously, you can see on Wednesday AM we had a 34% increase, which signaled kind of the start of the high kind of value trades. And I want to give a big shout out actually to Maddie, who posted a huge turnip price on the group midweek of 629, I believe, that morning, Wednesday morning. I think a lot of us went over to her beautiful island and made a lot of profit. The moon, started with some low prices. Ho's mentioning the moon in the chat, but I think on Friday AM, the moon also posted 338. We had lots and lots of high prices this week. Just want to ask the chat, what are you spending? What have you been spending your turnip money on? I need to know. Oh, Frank's in the chat. Frank's confirming that the stonks are high. 17 million bell profit. Kind of made a lot of things in the game redundant, and that's not how I like to see it. Basically, in the old games, I was a little bit of a fruit farmer, big fruit farmer. If anybody came to my island in this game in early days, they would have seen that at least 50% of the island was just pure orchard of different fruits. I like to rely on my farming background. But because High Squirrel Club is a financialized archipelago, we've been able to generate a lot of returns for our investors, and it just means that have to do a little bit less of the old fruit farming, and I can just a lot of us are now enjoying our lavish lifestyles of buying extraordinarily large 50-inch televisions in Nook's Cranny.
Well,
maybe
Bad Little
buying
Boy makes a good
jacuzzis.
point there, because it's maybe fortuitous that the shop has opened up, expanded, and now includes high value items because you've got something to spend those bells on.
Exactly. Mina, David, have you bought any high value items with your turnip gains?
I got golden laptop the other day. That was really exciting.
Oh.
But you know what? Playing the turnip game, what has done to me is that it means I don't have to worry about money anymore. So I can just breed flowers and I can do my thing without having to grind for those bells, I guess.
This must be how Bill Gates feels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've got to say, I've been going easy on the stock market. I play it every week, but I'd never take more than one trip, for example. I don't normally invest more than 100. I've never invested more than 100,000 in my initial outlay. And I was feeling pretty good about that until my mortgage went over 1 million bells. And now the high value goods are turning up in the shop. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe they were expecting players to actually, have pockets stuffed with bells, bank accounts that are, almost at breaking point. So maybe I should let go a bit and actually invest some more, because I like the gentle grind of making a bit of money every day, but maybe it's time to step it up a bit more.
Yeah, it's interesting, really. It's like coming from I was quite aggressive with turnips in New Leaf, but not to the point where I like people. Like, this game seems to kind of be one of the standards of online play, of people rampantly worldwide, playing the turnip market, and so much so that the great people that set up the turnip exchange have had server issues, etc. Like, I was always aggressive, and I would always buy a lot of turnips, but only to get a small return on like the 2 days of the week where the value rose on my own island. So I've always, over time, the course that the investment grew to the point where I would get like massive returns and could enjoy the luxury lifestyle. But it feels like it feels like in a way the developers might have accommodated for that in this, with those massive items, with the even just the very fact that we're all designing the exterior of our islands now. I think, like Joe List mentions in the chat, that there's a lot of money goes on moving around your bridges, moving around your houses, especially when we get given new things every week. Mina, I'm flying into your island right now, and I've got to say already it looks phenomenal.
I hope you're not allergic to flowers. That's what I'm going to say.
I have taken antihistamine today, so I'll be all right.
Well, I know, Mina, you're a very active participant in the gardening group on the High Squirrel Club Discord. And
yes.
I should say on the chat that those of you that are tuning in live, that maybe have come from the YouTube broadcast, every week we drop the Discord link, invite link to everybody at the end of the stream, so you can look forward to that. But you're about to see the value of that Discord, because this place is chock full of flowers. That I think, Mina, you've been very, very active in in breeding the flowers and helping people breed the flowers. What's your kind of flower philosophy?
So I started when I got to a mystery island, and I found all these beautiful hybrids. I was like, "Whoa, this is amazing! I want to breed more." And that's how it started. And then, if you get friends obviously coming to your island and water the flowers for you, then your chance of getting these beautiful red colors increases so much. So it's got that sense of friends helping your island progress in a way.
I am absolutely wowed by the symmetry here. But this is like
This is not chance, is it?
So some of these were the ones that I got from the mystery island, and then I thought, oh, I need more. And I came up with this grade that I came to regret, but it meant that I had to breed a lot of flowers to get to where I wanted to be. So you will see now my flower lab where all the flowers, all the magic happens.
Oh. I just want to shout out to this what do you call it?
Manhole.
What do you call that? Manhole. Yeah. What a beautiful manhole.
They're nice, aren't they? And apparently they direct replicas from the ones that you can see around Japan. So that's quite nice.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
If
I've only got a grotty one in my town. I feel ashamed now.
I've heard about your grotty manhole.
Oh, there's another one here. Oh, this is Flo. Flo is my favourite. Flo is the best.
Should I chat to Flo?
Yeah. She's the OG. She's the best. Look at her Aladdin outfit.
She is glamorous.
She is the best.
I gotta tell you, she's saying that she loves the air here. It's sweet, but it also has a tiny hint of sea salt. Oh, she's calling me Hunty. Flo, you better work.
I don't know where I got that from. So if we go through here, this is the shopping district.
Oh, what a brilliant sign.
Flo's blocking me. I'm through. Hello.
No, Flo, stop.
Love the sign. Let me just zero in on the sign. Is that a custom sign, Mina?
It is a custom. It's not a sans serif original, but I can leave the link for everyone if you'd like to have it in your towns. If we go through here, there's some other shops. We got the dumpling little cart. We've got a pizzeria here. You can enjoy pizza by the beach.
Oh, this is wonderful. This is glorious. That pizza sign as well. Let me just zoom in on that a second for
go
for
for
the
it.
folks on the stream. Apps really wonderful. Mina, we also haven't spoken about your outfit this evening, which is fabulous. The lederhosen, the wobbly bunny ears. It's stripy socks. It's everything.
It is everything at once. You're right. It was my bunny day outfit, and just stuck.
Wait, one sec. Doodles by Ben on the chat is mentioning your custom petrol pumps.
Oh, what?
Which have a Blathers and Celeste theme.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well spotted, Ben.
These are incredible. I didn't even know you could customize these. That's really.
I've been really enjoying customizing everything. There's so much that you can just make a bit more unique.
Yeah, every week I find out each stream there's something else I didn't realise you could customize.
It's a shame you don't get a lot of slots for your different designs.
I also have to kind of shout one thing I really, really love seeing in people's villages, a kind of realistic kind of refuse areas. I know, I really mean it. Like it adds like a great kind of texture to the world. A lot of people forget that when they're making this 3D dollhouse, that sometimes people need to throw away their rubbish.
Yeah, and it's okay. This is the cat cafe. So we've got little cat sleeping here.
Is that a custom texture?
Yes, on a cushion.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh, I've accidentally gone into my DIY recipes instead of my camera. I was so excited.
I got this cat toy really early on in the game, and I thought, what can I do with it? Because you will see my house in a minute, but didn't quite fit. So I just created a cat cafe. Why not? We've got some cakes here, carrot cake, strawberry cake.
Are these custom designs at the top here, or are they from the patterns that you pick up from Sable?
So these are all custom, and the cakes are actually hats.
Oh!
Of course they are.
They're not real cakes.
Oh, I just had my mind blown. I thought they were just cakes. Oh, they're amazing! They're amazing. I love this, and I love that you've got a little uniform hanging out there.
Yes.
I know a lot of people are really, really kind of anxious to see Brewster, but until then, this cat cafe is pretty lit.
This is Octavian's house. He's one of my other favourites. He is the best.
Oh, should we go visit him?
Yeah.
He's in. The light's on, isn't it?
Gonna go in.
I can hit this gong while I wait.
People on the chat are already spotting what's the things that are yet to come on the island. So they're very excited. Oh my! What on earth? What? I've never seen this UFO.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
wait,
these are all the little things that I've been giving him. That's why they don't really fit with the theme.
so you were like, oh, it's a little bit too space orientated. Let's give him a teddy bear.
Yeah.
So does this? I mean, what does this mean? Does it mean that he's not an octopus? He's an alien.
Oh, that's a theory.
That is a good theory.
Could just really like space memorabilia.
I've got to tell you, he's a bit of a bad boy in his leather jacket.
Yeah, I gave him that as well.
I think it's working for him.
It is, yeah. Yeah, he's serving. He doesn't have a bed, so I don't know where he sleeps, but
He probably gets beamed up by the alien and sleeps in there, in the UFO.
He's given me a recipe that I already own. Does anybody not know how to make a log dining table?
Oh, I think I do.
If not, I'll gladly drop it. Oh, look at this! This got a little guy being abducted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! It's sorry. It's
He's
an alien.
returning to his ship.
Yeah, he's returning to a ship. Sorry. That's okay. No, he's coming down. This is amazing. Okay, I can see why he's one of your favourites.
he is.
Dim is on the chat saying that the little alien looks like Elvis from Perfect Dark. Shout out to Perfect Dark. Okay, so Ho on the chat spotted that an opticians was coming up and got very excited.
Yes, nuke savers.
Oh, the use of the little tourist telescope as an eye test machine. That's
Free
so
test
cool.
for everyone. And again, I got lots of glasses. I didn't know what to do with them, so I thought, hey, these make sense.
This is amazing. So this is this covered by the NHS of your island, or is it
yeah,
is it a
everything's
private
free.
affair?
All the
Everything's
cake,
free.
everything
Oh.
is free.
You're
Yeah.
running some kind of utopia. It's like the Google campus.
Yeah, or a flourishing high street from the 1950s or something.
Oh, a beery. What do you call a beehive place? A beery.
Bee hotel.
A bee hotel.
Bee hotel,
You've got the bee statue. These dresses are cute.
Is that a wasp
Really
and,
nice.
wasp and a bee? Two different statues.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
tell which one is which?
This
It's a
is the bee,
honeybee here
right?
with the little
Yeah.
honey pouches.
Yeah. I keep getting so many wasps though because they keep appearing.
So are
Unfortunately.
you a dab hand at catching the wasps?
Every day, at least 3 times. It's so bad.
I'm like,
Hang on, these bee themed dresses. Are these custom or are they things that you picked up in the game?
No, they're actually all custom designs.
how many custom slots do you have left in your custom menu?
0.
Lots of love for your themed outdoor shops on the chat. Tim says he loves them so much.
Oh, thank you.
Ho says they're incredibly cute dresses. They are. There's more dresses over here.
Yeah. This
Oh.
is label. All the bells pop up in the island, and you can change here at the back.
Oh, I didn't even know you could do changing rooms outside. I guess it stands to reason. That's so cool.
I
Loving the
wanted to go and
shirt.
hide behind one of these trees.
I really miss those trees. I really miss the sakura
Oh,
season.
yeah. I
Yeah.
spent a lot of time. I knew that it was a fool's errand, but I spent a lot of time making symmetrical hardwood tree arrangements to take advantage of the different coloured trees in spring. But it lasted all of 5 days. I'll wait for next spring. Oh, the library.
Library, because reading is
Fundamental.
fundamental.
So unfortunately, this is now a drag race stream, and every single week we'll talk about drag race. Excellent episode this week for those on the stream that also watch. Oh, as florists.
Yeah,
love the
that,
use
that was
of the
before
stone.
Leaf came, obviously, but yeah, he's got a little second shop here.
I've never seen the flower cart, I don't think. Or if I have seen
You
it, I've
need-
never seen it in this colour.
You need so many flowers to craft that. So many.
But you did it because you are the flower.
Yeah. 'Cause I got a few flowers. This is the DIY workshop.
And
I
so
craft a lot of stuff.
oh, so you do it all here. That's really cool. Like having like an outdoor kind of space to do it to do it all. On my island, I kind of dot around workbenches to kind of help me not have to return to my home every single time. This is really amazing. When you're making like the shops, is it like the cat cafe where you'll get something and you'll kind of be inspired to make the shop, or did you kind of come into designing the island with like this idea? I want this shop and I want this shop. Like what's the kind of process for building out the island like this?
Yeah, it's usually just items that come from balloons or that I get randomly, and then I don't know what to do with them. So and this is a good example actually that we're coming to. So I got all these instruments and all these gnomes. So I created this little busking area for them. So the gnomes
Oh yes,
are playing.
I love that
KK's.
you've got the bad boy gnome on the vocals, the sexy gnome.
And you know what wonderful thing happened? A lot of the villagers come and actually sing here, so that's really nice.
Do they? I've never had that happen in my town yet.
Oh, they do it all the time. Do you have a mic?
No, I don't have a mic. I've got I put instruments outside, but not a mic.
That might do it.
Might be it.
If
So-
we go through here.
So people I know is asking, where are you getting everything from? Is it recipes? Like what?
Balloons, loads of balloons. I got so many balloons every day, and they all just come from there basically, and a lot of crafting.
I can see there's a lot of crafting. Oh, what a lovely rocket! I'm so jealous of everything that I'm seeing. I'm just been this. Ho says it's curious that I have a sexiest gnome in mind. He's the sexiest gnome. He's got a leather jacket. Sorry, pleather jacket. I know there's no leather in the game. Oh, got to check out the town flag. Very lovely. What's the inspiration
Flower.
for the flag? Of course. Need I ask? Very, very lovely. Hi,
If we
KK.
come through here,
What's your town tune, by the way? I don't have my sound on, so I can't hear.
I haven't actually changed it yet. Have you managed to
Ah.
change yours?
I
Yeah.
keep here's the thing. I haven't, because I really desperately want it to have the kind of the random note in it, which the game's default one has, but I haven't found that perfect mix of a tune that I want with the like where there's could be that random note could be placed meaningfully. What about you, Shrek?
Yeah.
I've got what did I choose in the end? Oh, from Phoenix Wright, the Steel Samurai distinctive
Cool.
theme music,
Ooh, nice.
So
which hasn't irritated me yet.
is this a kind of ticket desk for this exhibition?
Yes. So you need to get your tickets here, and if you follow me. to the
Oh, this is your museum entry point.
Oh my goodness!
Does Blathers know you're charging?
Look at this.
Whoa.
I haven't mentioned it to him yet. If you look up here, you can see a museum.
This is glorious. There's
If you stand exactly where I stood then, Martin, and
Okay.
look up, you'll get a good illuminated skeleton.
Oh yeah. Okay. So wait. You three. Let's get us all standing at the foot of this side by side.
Oh, let's go.
This is good. This is going to be the episode tile on YouTube. Oh yeah. Let's get Mina in the middle. Yeah. Sorry. You know me, narcissist. Wait, and I'll get the camera out. Oh no, I've got the dinosaur in the way. Okay, well that we'll get a tile out of this somehow.
Yeah.
Anyway, this looks amazing.
So this was similar. I got a lot of fossils that I already had, so I thought, what can I do with them?
Well, you of course were also one of the people instrumental on the club's Discord of arranging Foss Fest, right?
That was fun.
Tell
But that
the-
was Jasper and Audrey actually they organised it all, and it was so nice. It was really great. Got a lot of the fossils. I got a bit sad actually earlier today because I thought, oh, we're finishing the fossils collection. It seems that we're coming to the end of the game in a way, and I don't really want it to end.
So for you, are you definitely like a collector? For you, the kind of the game is about building out the inventory and kind of getting all the items.
In some way, yes. I love collecting stuff, so it is a part of it, isn't it? So once you finish that, it feels like, oh, what else is there to do? But there is a lot to do still, so I don't think the end is near.
I see David has spotted something behind the counter of the cafe.
Yeah, someone.
It's here.
This is incredible. Is this a? Did you create this?
No, I did not create it, but I really needed him in this island. So is this a sleeveless dress? I think.
We'll miss it so much. Also, I love the little details. I think Ho also called it out. The little details of like the laptop in the kind of cafe. People are loving the lamps. And of course,
if you come through here, you can see the front of the museum through here.
Oh, love the little kind of uplights. Would you want to show us the inside of the museum?
I don't think it's anything you haven't seen.
Okay. No. So far on the stream, we've kind of seen. We've been to the fossils exhibit. I think we went to All Right Mousie's fossils exhibit, but we're yet to explore the other things on stream. But we're waiting for the person that really wants to show off their fish and bug collections. Oh, look at this! This is gorgeous.
A lot of villagers come here to play as well, which is really cute.
So jealous.
Wait, why can't I get in?
You have to get in through the right, and then you can play.
Yeah, this way.
Oh,
You've got to say hop as you jump.
okay. Sorry, let me do that again. Hup! It works.
Yeah.
Nice.
Again, I'm sure there's a cacophony. I can't hear any of it.
Oh, it's great, Shrinky. It's really, really great. It feels like feels very kind of. It's kind of like a acid jazz post-punk infusion. That's how I would describe it. Yeah, this My Pet Roxy is commenting on how beautiful the amphitheater is. It really, really looks amazing. I really love all the kind of like effort people put into making their museum like kind of really special like public monument, public park. This is probably one of my favourite ones that I've seen yet.
Yeah, it should be the centre of the town. It's so important, isn't it?
Culture's at the heart. Love it. Oh, and also you'd be remiss to not mention all the custom patterns on the ground. Like again, really adds like an extra, the extra texture to give some variety. Also, I noticed that you've got weeds around. Is that a personal choice?
It is, yeah. So for the campsite, I put weeds all over, and this is one of my favourite places because it feels a bit more wild maybe than the rest that is very developed and got all the paths and stuff. Oops,
Yeah.
there you go.
Now, did you play Pocket Camp?
Only a little bit.
Because this does remind me of like the way that you could put so much stuff outside, and obviously it was a campsite. This feels reminiscent of a really nice campsite in Pocket Camp.
I really enjoyed it. I didn't fully get into it because then New Horizons came out and that took over my life. But
it's interesting. I imagine the putting the game on mobile. I don't know what the kind of usage rates of Pocket Camp are, but I imagine the amount of people playing this game right now. It's amazing to think that how many people play this game and how it's probably kind of dwarfing the amount that are playing the kind of possibly more accessible mobile version.
Yeah.
Sorry, we missed something. So it was brought up on the chat that we walked past some gold roses, and I think we might have missed. I think we might have missed them. Well, did we miss some, or did they?
Oh yeah, so they're by the band. If you look up from here, it should be.
Oh.
So how hard is it to breed those? Oh, whoops.
It's not if you've got the right tools. I would say that.
Is one of the tools a gold nugget?
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
They're really very gold.
Very, very lovely. And KRZ. Yes, KRZ. I always forget if it's Z or Z. KRZ says that she didn't know New Horizons had Jacob's Ladder's flowers too. And yeah, so you're teaching your flower ways. They're teaching people a thing or two. This little campsite is amazing, and I got to tell you yet again, thank you for including a portaloo in the situation to add to the realism.
You'll be reassured to know that my campsite is not patched on this in any way at all, but it does include the two vital things, which are the campsite platform up here and the portaloo right next to it.
At the end of the day, we've all got a poop.
Exactly. Yeah, especially when you're camping.
Especially when you're camping.
I've got two
Giving
portaloos.
back to nature.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, look at that! See, you're always thinking about the visitors.
Yeah, gender neutral.
I mean, I don't know if I can't remember if this was mentioned on the stream or before the stream, but I think you said the words, "Oh, my village. Oh, don't judge it. It's not as good as other people's. Like it's
really not.
It's very impressive."
There's a lot of stuff around, and that Isabella always tells me off because there's too many items lying about. But I've seen really beautiful islands, and the thing is, everyone's islands is so different, and they reflect their personality so well in some way. So it's really nice to see all these different islands.
What do you think Serif says about you?
That I'm not a minimalist, maybe.
And you love toilets.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Oh my! Oh,
Check out
just
this
see
little...
the pattern.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sickening. That's so sickening. Using the panels as like cupboards. Oh, sorry.
You have to see it from this side. If you see it from this side, it makes more sense.
Oh, that's insane. I hadn't because again, I'm not hunting out patterns online and stuff like that. So every time I see them when we do these visits, I'm like wowed for the first time, like seeing the kind of creative ways people are using the patterns. Wow.
And it's a really easy, and it doesn't cost anything. Well, it does cost to customize, I guess. You need to have the little things, don't you? But it doesn't really require anything else.
So is this like your greenhouse? Is that what we're looking at? Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
I've been trying to breed the blue flowers, but they're so difficult. These are all the ones I got.
I know that in the Discord we made the blue. I want to say it's the blue pansy, the flower emoji, but we're up for changing that. If the Garden Gang don't want the blue pansy as the flower emoji in the Discord, we can change it. Just say the word, Garden Gang. I love this archway.
The shell collection.
Oh, so nice. Oh, you got your mailbox here. Oh, so this is the entryway to the house.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we got another busking down here.
Eccentric mansion owner vibes. So was this gnome was he kind of cast out from the main band and he's going it solo?
Yeah, he's the star.
My pet Roxy says blue pansy was her first blue and she gave it to her partner since that's her favourite colour. It's very, very sweet. In fact, it's so weird. We're spending so much time on the game that honestly, when my wife gives me gifts in the game, it feels like a gift in the real world. It's get all gooey when she does it. It's very, very sweet.
I feel like your island, once you're no longer here, it's going to get turned into a museum. Like that whole leading up to your house feels like one of those Victorian houses that got collections that got turned into a museum.
I love those. So I love that. I love the Blathers and Celeste vibe throughout the whole island. Oh,
Yeah, love them.
custom pattern of the starfish and the shells. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So over here, is this one of your flower? Is this a flower grid that we're looking at?
So this is the full collection. So this is for me to see what I'm missing, basically. So I'm missing quite a lot still, and I can show you the flower beds if you come through here.
Yeah.
This isn't the breeding thing. This is just a reference guide, so you can.
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Would you say that you're obsessive, Mina? Would you?
No.
Oh, we're just like firstly, sorry, I can't scoot past this little dreamboat. Freckles. I've never met Freckles before.
Really?
Love that centre parting.
She's good. She's one of the good ones.
What a dream. Sorry, I just want to chat for a little bit. She's asking, do you know Mina? They've got another name, a fab name, a fabtastic name. It's Full-Fledged Eventuality. I've got to call you that all the time, I'm afraid. Full-Fledged Eventuality. Also love this kind of recreational area here. I haven't seen the ping pong table yet. That's really cool.
This reminds me of those little parks in Paris,
Yeah,
which have the little sporty area in them.
it's really, really glorious.
So
There's a gym here. I used to have a jock villager, but he sadly departed, so it's not getting much use.
You'll get another jock soon, and they'll be so happy to see all this. Oh, a little exercise bike and a wardrobe and a wardrobe too.
There's going to be a locker.
Ah, of course.
the difference between you and me, Mina, and Animal Crossing is, I think when you get an item, it sparks an idea that you then follow through. You put it down outside and you think, this bit of gym equipment, this could become an outdoor gym, or this pizza oven, this could become a pizzeria. Whereas I think, oh, I'll put that in my storage with my other stuff.
I guess
And then that's it.
I'm kind of in the middle of you two, I guess. But yeah, I'm definitely very, very guilty of just like sticking things in the storage. Love it. Also,
So I've got a pizza oven, and I have put it outside, but it didn't turn into a pizzeria.
well, you just became, your personal outdoor pizza oven. Back to your wonderful kind of your like intro centerpiece.
I'm very passionate about food as well, so I think that shows.
100%. What's the story behind the free kettles?
I keep getting so many kettles from balloons. Every day I get at least one. So if you need...
Those balloons must have some kind of like secret government helium in them if they're carrying kettles. Go through the Bunny Day Arch. Oh my goodness me. So this is super interesting. So you've got your kind of grids, and for the people in the chat who aren't flower breeders in Animal Crossing, basically a lot of the breeding system happens around putting flowers in a grid, and Mina knows tons more about this than I do. But the arrangement in the grid and certain other factors influence the way that they crossbreed and move around. What I really love about this is, instead of just having what I would do, because I'm a Philistine, I do all my experiments in a part of my island and don't dress it up. You've made it look like actual gardens. Super cute.
I haven't been very lucky. It's been raining all week and I haven't managed to get many hybrids, so hopefully this will breed purples and blues, which are my favorite, but not really working as well as I thought. But you just have to wait. You just have to give it time.
We've got Pocket Pod in the chat saying that, firstly, like being wild, but then also saying, can't wait till we get pizza and food in the game. More food. We love more food. It feels like everybody's really, really like setting all these like public spaces up or restaurants to eat, but we're kind of lacking a lot of the props for that. I mean, you've solved that by turning hats into cakes. But
Oh, we do see villagers eat. I can't remember who I saw talking about this earlier today, but we do see villagers eating food.
Oh,
And they'll carry a donut around.
Donuts, yeah.
I want those donuts.
Yeah.
Rowan's been holding out on me.
we can go through here actually.
We can. Ooh.
This is not fully done yet, but who knows?
So what is your, as we climb up the hill, what's your kind of most wanted flower that you don't currently have?
The blue rose, for
blue
sure.
rose.
The blue rose is so difficult to get.
Shout out to
And
all of
you
our
have-
Twin Peaks fans.
You have to crossbreed and you have to do it multiple times, and the chance of you actually getting it is, I think, maybe 10% or 5%, if that. So
Whoa.
that is the one.
This reminds me of child breeding in Sonic Adventure. Shout out to all my Sonic Adventure fans. So tell us about this little kind of
I didn't mean to jump over.
little kind of lake area. How would you describe it?
So this is an area for fishing, because I think there's certain fish you can only get from the top tiers of your island, and
Yeah.
because the other top tier is the campsite, I thought I would give it a nice fishing spot to make sure that I can get those little fish.
I'm finding it really, really interesting that you are kind of solving some of the well, I don't want to call them design issues is the wrong word. Is that you're kind of building around like certain elements of the gameplay by integrating them into the environment, like really like with the flower beds, and now with this kind of top tier fishing station, and that feels like that to me, because I know you, that feels very you, because I've always known you as a designer. Are you feeling like are you trying to like solve kind of gameplay issues through environmental design here? Is that part of your MO, Mina?
I never thought about it that way, but yeah, I guess because in some way the limitations of the game actually make you have to think about things and how you place things to make that work, and it's a lot of trial and error. So when you do something and that doesn't work, so for instance, this little bit of a band, it used to be an island, and what I realized is that the villagers, if there's a bit of water, even though it's very small, they're not going to jump, so they couldn't access it. And it is the island, right? It is all of our island, so I wanted for them to be able to access it, so I built this little bridge for them to be able to access it. So all these limitations actually make it into the island in a way. On the subject of bridges, can I show you something that I'm really ashamed of?
Ashamed of? Oh, even more so. Yes, I want to see it even more now. I know there's shame involved.
So I don't know if you remember, Ryan and the club had this beautiful bridge that they built, and I ran out of bells, so I built this. It doesn't work in the same way as Ryan does it.
So I think so for those who may be watching that aren't involved in the club Discord or one of our other groups, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan's bridge is a very long vertically facing bridge that is like this kind of an illusionary bridge. But it's very, very grand. It's able to kind of cover more space than a regular bridge just by kind of creating the illusion of a bridge. But I mean, you shouldn't be. You don't need to be ashamed of this. It's very artfully done.
It's really bad. It's terrible.
You've literally just come from my island where there's a tiny sliver of like terraform land in order to accommodate for the fact that I forgot to build a bridge. So I mean, you shouldn't be ashamed. You should be very proud. This is very.
And my island's just full of stepping stones where I found that I was using my pole to get across, but I didn't want to spend money on a bridge. So
they're so expensive. That's the thing. They're so expensive. Bridges should be just free.
Oh,
And there's a limit to
cost a lot. If you want a good job well done, you know it's going to cost money for good engineering, and then they've got maintenance as well.
Exactly. Do you want Tom Nook to starve? He's got children to raise. He's got children to raise into more successful businesses. I should have mentioned on the chat you were getting compliments for the bold bridge use up by your fishing spot. And to be honest, it looks fantastic. Like it's great. The variety of bridges and the things that they can, and the things they resemble. You know, like it resembles a pier. So you've kind of used it this way that retains that kind of pier-like sensibility. Just love it. A little wishing well.
Yeah, by the flowers, so you can get some water.
I feel very bad for walking through these flower beds.
It's all a work in progress, but it's all good. That's what's nice about this game. I think I'm going to move some villagers here in this big space and do something maybe nicer with my house. We'll see.
So
By the way, I haven't shown you my house. Can I show you
yes,
my house?
yes.
Yeah.
Let's get into.
I
let's get
wasn't
into-
joking.
So I mean, I don't know if I want to spoil it for the people on the stream. Should we not spoil it? Should we just walk in the house? You gave us a
Just
little
Yeah.
clue.
See what's there.
You gave us a little clue before we started. As I wait to go through this door, Chumagma Mayor Ed is spotted all the undug fossils, and I think he's getting an urge to come over and dig them all up for you. Ho is really loving your platform of free bridges for all. So I've just walked in the house, and and you know for somebody that claims to be a maximalist. You know, this is looking, well, I say pretty bare, but there are certain things dotted about. Tell us about the house, Mina.
You have to come to the basement. We can have that conversation there.
Spoken like a true serial killer. Oh,
Oh,
I'm loving
So
this.
what I want to do, and I haven't been able to do yet, is make every room into the outdoors. So this could be your volcano fantasy. And then get little beds, maybe put some fire down or some beds down and make every room kind of its own space.
I like one of those
That-
really like dream hotels where every room has got like a different
Yes,
theme.
yes.
Yeah.
I love hotel, that's it. So
I love
it's work
hotel.
in progress.
Yeah.
This is great
Wow.
wallpaper as well.
It's
Yeah.
cool, isn't it?
It's really interesting in a way because, you know, obviously I've been a heavy Animal Crossing player, you know, since the very first game, and I know that some of these textures have been textures that have been developed over time, but some of this, because everything is so HD in this game, I feel like I'm seeing a lot of things for the very first time, and there are things that I'm not sure if I've ever seen before. Like, I don't think I've ever seen this wallpaper before. Is it new to Animal Crossing? Is it just an up-res of a previous texture? Either way, it's amazing.
I tell you what, it's got bit of moving lava.
Oh yeah,
Bottom as well.
Yeah,
me-
yeah, it does.
one of Sahara's animated wallpapers.
I'm really
And the
enjoying
floor-
Sahara's mystery wallpapers.
Yeah, they're so much fun because you never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes you don't get what you're expecting, but that's part of it, isn't it?
Whatever you get,
And-
it's going to be something good, like something
Yeah.
high quality.
And I don't know if you can feel, but the floor has a specific kind of feel to it. It's got a sound and a feel when you walk on it as
Oh,
well. So
yeah.
that's really nice. It's not just how it looks, but how it feels. There's a lot of detail into all these things.
I had never noticed that, but it does. It kind of sounds like, you know, crunchy, wet grass. People I know has left a sad emoji saying Sahara just leaves him office walls.
I think this is a good one as well. So yeah, I think it's how you spend your time. So I spend a lot of time outdoors and not a lot of time on my house.
I can completely relate to that. You know, obviously Shrinky and I haven't really shown our islands on stream yet, but the inside of my house is a lot like yours. Like I love focusing on outside. I guess 'cause it's so new to us as Animal Crossing players that like I'm spending all the time on the village, and a lot of my rooms are basically just empty turnip receptacles. The rain is so amazing too.
And the lightning took me by surprise.
I feel like we're in like a kind of a sensory art exhibition, like, you know, in that bit, in that kind of weird bit of the Barbican where they stick all the sensory stuff, like that we have to go through a million corridors and.
Well, they
Through
literally
the
had a
cinema.
rain room, didn't they?
Oh, that's probably why I'm thinking of it.
Yeah. Actually, so I've got a rain room. I've got a misty garden that has a gentle rain.
Oh, nice.
Oh
Up
wait,
in my
wait,
attic.
we've got some
Ooh.
questions about the rain room. So Ho thinks it's heavy rain themed. Fun game. Screeching Weasel says it's like a holodeck suite, which I really love about these Sahara wallpapers. But Doodles by Ben asks, what does the room look like with the lights off?
Ooh.
Let's find out. The answer is great. What I feel like we're in the penthouse of a kind of mafia movie when the lights are off, and we're about to throw somebody out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. It's Die Hard, isn't it? Yeah.
The cocaine deal gone bad. It's really amazing. Sorry to drag you back in the room. I needed to know too. Once the idea of the what is it like with lights off came into the chat. I needed to know. Sorry, Shrieky, I cut you off.
I just said it's a turnip deal that's gone rotten.
Oh, yes. That's our next parody YouTube video.
This one's a bit different.
Oh, I love the cracked. I don't think I've seen the cracked road.
No, I haven't.
It's nice,
floor
isn't it?
before.
I like it.
This feels very like Thelma and Louise. I feel like we should be in a car driving through the
Yes.
desert right now.
I like how you put a radiator in here to make sure that it's actually warm as well.
This is. I've got to ask a question though. Like, obviously, these wallpapers, Sahara's special wallpapers, as we all know, like there was one I really, really was desperate for at the start of the game, and luckily the club members kindly hooked me up with one. But the question is, does anybody else feel like a weird like dissonance with these, because they're so cool? Everything Sahara gives you in this vein is so cool, but it's so like not homely.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It's. I feel like I always get them, and I think that's so cool, and then I'm like, well, would I ever use this?
Yeah. I don't think it works in any other way than in a big empty room.
But for your kind of like theme hotel, like different environments, it's perfect.
But I suppose also going to Halves Island and setting up your own scenes. Like you can imagine, when you get enough stuff, you could do a western,
Yes. Yeah.
or you could even do a turnip deal gone rotten.
Hadn't even
In like a
considered.
restaurant, something on with a night's view, the rain battering the windows.
I wonder. Some things I wonder about is like Halves Island. Did that come about because who knows? But did that come about because maybe the designers had the same chat that we just had? Like, now you can design outside. What do these wallpapers do for the player? And maybe that's where the photo studio idea came about.
I think it's also just to showcase, because there's such a huge amount of material and items in this game, and it's also flexible that, limited even to quite a large house, you don't have that much freedom to use all the stuff that you've got.
Yeah.
And having a space that is just completely customizable, and you can go to town and use multiple items and everything from your catalog, gives people a bit of freedom if people really want to experiment.
Yeah. And if you've got a lot of amiibos that you don't necessarily can have in your island, maybe, but you want to see them and take some pictures with them. I've got a whole stack that I wouldn't necessarily want to invite, but it's nice to see them there.
I think that, I mean, I think like I feel like at least up until New Leaf, Animal Crossing was one of the more obviously Nintendo mega popular, but Animal Crossing was one of the more niche Nintendo titles that maybe not every kind of Nintendo player had played, or not every kind of video games fan had like spent time with. And I used to tell people that wanted to know more about the game, it's a lot of the game is just about self-expression. There's no real purpose to a lot of the things in the game, but almost everything is geared towards helping you express yourself in some in some way. And it's interesting that there are now all these different additional like layers of self-expression, because it used to really basically be, how do you express yourself? You express yourself by the way that you lay out your house and the way that you communicate with the villagers. But now it's like, express yourself through like the environmental design, the way that you design the town, or the way that you've used the custom patterns, the things you can do in the photo studio. It's just like there's layers upon layers. Like I just feel like I'm never going to be done with this game, because there's always going to be something cool and fun that I'll get every week. But maybe that's because at the moment I've gone back down to playing like just an hour a day. So for me, I just feel like I've got forever to play. Whereas like Mina, you mentioned earlier that, you felt like as you collect more things, maybe the desire to play the game will wane.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't come to that. But what will happen when I finish the flower collection? And I guess something else will come up at that point. Maybe there's a new update and there's a little event that goes on, or maybe I can start fishing, or maybe I could start with my house. Maybe that's something I might want to do.
There's so much you could do, and there's just going to be new things,
Yeah.
little things, for I'm guessing at least a year, maybe a bit longer. I was going to say that my pet Roxy on the chat was saying, don't forget that photo modes are popular in this current generation of games anyway, and I was thinking, social media is now such a big part of some games, especially visually interesting games like Animal Crossing, and it's just seeing the rich amount of stuff that people are sharing on social media for Animal Crossing means that a photo mode and then a studio to go with it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, I've got to say, like, I think if Dim is still in the chat, of like one of, like, Dim has made some like amazing like Smash Brother like pastiches of games and things in Smash Brothers. Like, I think I know that we see a lot of that in Smashdown. Even Sakurai himself like releases these funny photos from inside Smash. But Dim was great. Like, I think I remember the one I remember most is that he kind of did Final Fantasy VII cutscenes in Smash, and this game. But that's very difficult to do in Smash. Setting it up, arranging the characters, making sure they have the right items, getting the angle of the camera right. But in this game now, it just feels a lot easier. And also, I'm going to do a shock surprise in this creepy room. Just before I properly react to this, I was just going to say, like, obviously last week on the stream we did a little like drag race parody,
Yes.
and it was kind of surprising how easy it was within the game to do that, and like you two were saying with the kind of the game's kind of set up to kind of create this kind of players to create this kind of content. It feels super duper easy. This is creepy though, Mina. What's the story?
Can you switch the lights off? It is intense. I'm not sure what I want to do here. I've got do you remember one of those what was it that you could fish a month ago that looked it was a sea butterfly? Was that what it was? And I was thinking of I've got one that I kept as a pet, and I wanted it to be its room, and now this is a little lab for it to do its experiment.
It reminds me of the like lab at the end of Resident Evil.
I'm just playing Resident Evil right now, and I'm getting some real. I'm a bit worried about these cabinets inevitably smashing at a crucial point.
No, but this actually sounds the way you've described it sounds much more wholesome. So this is the place that the sea butterfly. That's the little kind of like insect look. Well, I guess I'm such an idiot. It's called a sea butterfly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a floaty, like glowing creature, though, right?
Yeah. It's quite small as well. Yeah.
Is it in your Critterpedia? You might be able to see a picture of it.
Oh, that's a great idea.
If you've caught one.
I think I have caught one. Let me see. Sorry, everybody on the chat, please don't judge me. I'm not really great at catching fish or catching bugs. I might not have caught as many as everybody else. And it looks like I haven't. I thought I had, but it looks like I haven't. So what I'll do instead is I will...
That's because it's not your fish.
Oh, it's a fish!
Yeah.
It's not a regular butterfly. It's a sea butterfly. Sorry, my head... There it is. I knew I had one. There we go. Sea butterfly. Seasonality, December to March. Location C. Not the Critterpedia.
Can you see it?
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Wait, let me zoom in on it. You look very proud of it. So this is...
I'm so proud.
It's very creepy when it animates. Its little mouth comes open like...
It is, yeah.
Like the creature in Stranger Things.
Help me!
That thing doesn't need help. It's creepy. I'm running. Bye. So this is really, really interesting. Mina, I hope you'll let us come back when you've kind of built out the house as well, because I want to see these
please,
dreams realised. Ho on
House
the chat,
Horrors.
she's been disgusted. Pocket Pod asks, is it a mollusk or a jellyfish or an alien? I mean, either one of those three is terrifying.
I think it's a type of sea slug type thing, maybe.
It's just getting creepier and creepier.
I'm going to say it's like a swimming sea slug.
Ugh. It's making me feel queasy. So thank you. That is a very... I mean, I said it was like an eccentric mansion, and we have found out that that is the plan.
That is the plan, yeah.
It's going to be just, yeah, like I was saying, just it's going to make the best heritage museum. People are going to go to that in the future and wonder what kind of person put together that collection.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, what a lovely island. People on the chat are complimenting the island, and I guess this is the end of the tour, right, Mina?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, this is pretty much it.
There is one more thing. Our friend KK Slider is here.
Oh.
And I think we chatted that maybe it is time to have it to. I mean, we've already had this once in the last stream. We had a little concert with KK to end the stream, and we thought, it might be a nice tradition to end the stream that way.
And we're already getting requests.
We've got requests on the chat. Mina, are you up for requests, or is KK already picking a song?
Yeah.
So
what is everyone feeling?
So I'm just going to read some to you. I'm going to read out some requests, and then I guess you can be the ultimate arbiter. So Doodles by Ben wants driving. Chew Magma is asking for Amazing Island, but then he has also gone to driving. It sounds like there's a unanimous calls for driving, and driving is spelt Drivin with no G, or actually with an apostrophe, Drivin apostrophe. But just in case, people I know is suggesting bubblegum, and Bad's What a Boy.
I love bubblegum.
Okay, sounds like you might pick bubblegum. Okay, there's a few more now. So we've got
Always
KK
with the dirge from home.
Oh my god, there's so many. It's too late. Mina's picked bubblegum.
Driving.
All right,
Here we go.
Chew Magna, Ben, you've won. Thanks so much for inviting us, Mina.
Thank you so much for coming.
It's been incredible.
Yeah, you
given me-
undersold this to us when we chatted during the week.
No, please, there's so much to do, and thanks for not leaving my house in horror.
You should see mine. It's a pit.
So your approach to building your areas from items from balloons have given me an idea. I don't know if you know about the oblique strategies cards that Brian Eno made.
Yeah, Brian Eno's cards.
Yeah, I might try a similar thing but with balloons. So whatever objects I get from a balloon next, I've got to make a themed area around the item.
Yeah, that's a challenge.
No matter how weird or bad it seems. So I don't just file it away. I've got to make something of it.
Sounds good. Sounds like a challenge, yeah.
Yes, I threaten it every week, and I'm going to drop a link to the High School Club Discord into the chat now for those that might be watching that aren't already members of the club. Recently, we've started to build our Discord a lot after years of having very disparate groups all over the place, dalliances. We've now kind of trying to centralise a few more things into the Discord. I want to thank all the club members for making it such a lovely place, like all the club members always do. And especially Mina for being such a big part of the gardening gang and the item trading gang, and basically making it like a lovely place to come and chat about Animal Crossing.
Yeah, and thanks to everyone for being such a nice community and always being helping, and whenever anyone needs anything, everyone is jumping at the chance to help. So it's so nice, especially in these times, right?
Exactly. I mean, Animal Crossing has brought us all together.
Yeah.
My parrot says, tell him cousin Red sent you. We're all cousins here tonight.
Yeah.
So, Mina, where can people find you online?
What do you mean?
Like, are there any places you want to link people to find out more about you?
I've got a Twitter. Yeah, you could follow me there for more. It's a bit boring. It's more like work related, but yeah.
But your work is fun.
It is fun. Yeah.
Shrinky, of course, you can find Shrinky on Twitter too.
Yep, at Shrink Wrapped as usual.
and me, I'm Matt Steenton. But, you know, don't follow me, follow High Score Club. And speaking of which, I should get those links on screen, you know, just to keep this extra professional. You can find us all over the place. If you want to look at our public channels, if you're watching the stream, there is a Discord link in the chat right now if you want to come hang out with us. And thanks to Mina for coming on the stream and showing us your amazing island.
Thank you for coming.
And if you want to see other island tours that we've done, head over to our YouTube channel. Thanks to everybody that's been seeing us there too. You know, we've now grown to a royal 86 subscribers, so we're well on our way to becoming one of the biggest YouTube channels in existence. And you know, who knows, all of the support, you know, has been pouring in, and you know, we may have gotten word from the High Score Club commissioner that we might be able to upgrade our studio tent to a real studio soon. So you know, tune in next week and see how it develops. Thanks to everybody for stopping by. And I guess it's the end of the stream. So I'll say, with hope for our continued growth and to celebrate another week of New Horizons, this has been Astal.